right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Goal Gutters. I don't even know what you call me. I guess I'm the host.
Yes.
I'm the host.
You are the
John
host, my
Restino,
friend.
and you guys are my co-hosts, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes?
Yeah, that works.
Is that right? Is that how you say it? It's Julio and Scott, my co-hosts. Robin, you're here. Hi.
Hello.
You all right?
Yep.
Sure? Okay,
Doing
good.
what
Nice
I
to
do.
see you. Nice to see you.
All my trade secrets
Yep.
over here.
Keep doing it. Thank you. Wade is here, our guy. He's behind the screen, making sure you guys see us. How's it going, fellas?
Good.
I haven't seen
Good.
you in a week. We
Yeah,
don't really,
lots
we don't see
happened.
each other until
Today?
Yeah, we talk though. We
Right.
chat.
Right.
How's it going? Everyone all right? Everyone good?
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
look
yeah.
good. You guys
Yeah,
came
you know.
in, shot out of a cannon.
A little crazy a little crazy out there in the world right now.
Yeah. No, it is
but
crazy.
I'm breathing. That's a good thing.
You know what is crazy too in Western New York, which sucks, and I know you
Everything.
people out here, that might not be from Western New York, is it's going to be 65 on Sunday and then snow on Monday.
Oh yeah, we'll have probably like 3-4 inches.
Oh my God!
It's
It kills that. It
unbelievable.
kills a lot of things when you get older. It's hurtful. Like if you've been surgically altered, repaired,
Yeah.
it hurts like hell, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I hurt. My
You
friend.
hurt? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you
I
do.
hurt.
Yeah, you're my age.
A lot of us got the knee issues.
I'm
Yeah, you're lucky.
younger.
Younger.
I'm almost 30.
Are you really already?
30.
It's almost
Yeah,
30.
almost 30, man.
Good for
When you hit about 40, that's when walking upstairs starts.
I can't play
making a
softball
little-
no
Sometimes
more.
it's a
I'm
little
already
sore.
there.
You get a little sore.
You play softball still though, right? And stuff?
Yeah. This might be my first year not playing.
Oh, really?
Just getting too lazy, I guess.
No, that's what happens. That's what happens.
There's like
That's
times
when the knees start going. That's when the back starts hurting.
there's times my dog will take a towel, run up the stairs, and I'll just let him keep it. I'm not going to get that.
Right.
Or I just
All right, the phone number here, if anyone would be so inclined to want to call, it's area code 716-804-1229. 716-804-1229. Message on the message board. Robin will be looking at the message board, and she will be, if there's any questions, Robin, you'll tell us, right?
Absolutely.
Or anyone just saying nice things
Oh, yeah.
or bad things.
Only nice.
Only nice?
Only
Okay, only
nice
nice things.
things,
Screw
yeah.
it. No more
No,
bad things.
we can take it. We can.
I know we can do
bad
it.
things too is fun though.
Bad things work
It's
well.
a nice curveball.
Speaking of bad things, let's talk about Major League Baseball. MLB Lockout is now in full swing, pretty much, because they've already canceled 2 series. So that's like 2 weeks of the season has been canceled pretty much for us. We got a video we're going to show here shortly. It's going to give you a quick rundown of a timeline of what it is.
Okay.
And then after the video, when we come back, I'll give you guys a little bit more of the issues
Okay.
that are happening, and I want to hear you guys
Sounds good.
really get into it and tell me what you think.
How did
All right,
we get here?
check
Yeah,
out this.
okay, so
minute
this
video.
lockout has been really lasting more than a month now. How did we get to this point? Maybe taking a quick look here. It all started really on December 2nd of last year. No collective bargaining agreement was in place between the league and the Players Association. This is about Major League Baseball versus the union. So the lockout stopped all businesses, free agent signings, and so forth. Coaches couldn't even talk to players. Then February 1st, a deal on the table. The union makes an offer, and it depends on who you ask, but the biggest sticking point among many is the way in which teams control players before they reach free agency. How do these players get paid? Major League Baseball also proposed an expanded postseason. Neither side could agree, so the deadlock began. February 3rd, just a few days later, the league requested a federal mediator to try to help with negotiations. The union rejected it. Flash forward to February 12th, about a week or so later, the league did come ahead with a 130-page counteroffer. It's closer to what the players union wanted, but it was still not good enough. I think they talked for maybe 20 minutes on that day. February 28th is another important day. This was when the league announced spring training games would be canceled. Bummer for all of you that headed to Peoria or know someone that did to see the Mariners in spring training. It was canceled. Then February 24th, that February 28th deadline to reach a deal was set. That was yesterday. More spring training games were canceled. Yesterday's deadline came and went. No one reached a deal, but they did agree to extend that deadline into today.
All right, thank you to ABC in Seattle for that little, just a little rundown on some of the dates. I think they talked to us March 30th. Obviously, we're not there anymore, but nothing much else has happened other than a 90-minute meeting yesterday that did nothing, and we don't know when they're going to meet again. Major League Baseball, here it is, guys, the biggest, like, for example, well, first of all, the Major League Baseball Players Association has launched a fund to try to help affected stadium workers because those people aren't going to get paid, people that work in the stadium. So MLBPA has started a fund to help pay them if they can. So that's cool. Real quick on a few things. Andy Martino from SNY reported that the Angels, Diamondbacks, Reds, and Tigers voted against the league's latest CBA proposal. Real quick, Blue Jays pitcher Ross Stripling accuses the owners of trying to sneak things into the final process. Like they give you, but it's kind of like what Governor Cuomo did here when he killed the third parties in New York State. If anyone knows about that, well, like when he threw in a COVID, it was like a COVID relief thing, and oh yeah, everyone's gonna go for COVID relief. Well, he threw in there, I'm gonna kill third parties, so no one saw it coming.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like what Ross Stripling is telling us. It all has to do with competitive. A lot of it has to do with the competitive balance tax, which is the we'll call it CBT from here on out, but that's the luxury tax.
Okay.
Right now, the luxury tax sits at $220 million. If you go over $220 million, you get taxed, and all of that tax gets spread out to the entire league. So if the Yankees get taxed heavily, the Pirates are getting some of that money. That's where the money kind of spreads out to everyone. So the old CBA they had, if teams went over the luxury tax line by more than $40 million, that was another threshold. You'd get your draft picks not taken, but they would be altered. Like if you had a first round pick, they might drop you to like a third round pick or something. Okay. There was some kind of
Why
thing.
not just
about
get rid of the whole luxury tax all to begin with?
like they used to. Yeah,
Just do a cap.
Only 6 franchises have ever gone over the luxury tax, and only 3 have done it twice. The big thing is the owners want a hard cap. That's what they would like. They would like it to be They would like it to be whatever, just a hard, straight out cap, just like the NHL.
Kind of like
does.
the NFL.
Yeah, NHL.
Oh,
Mostly,
NHL.
the NHL's like just bang.
Oh, okay.
That's what it seems like they want. But the funny thing is, they not only want a hard cap, they also are trying to have more playoff games. They're trying to expand the postseason.
And players don't want that.
No, and raising the tax line too. They want to raise that threshold. You see, what I've understood, then I'll let you guys. The postseason money is huge. Players aren't getting a lot of it, hardly any of it. That's their biggest. That's a big complaint. Is why don't we get any of the postseason money?
Right, but normal people that go to work don't get. If you're salary, you don't get paid overtime, so it's the same thing. You're playing extra games.
Yeah, but I know, but they're not. They're not us.
But,
You know,
right.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
just not,
you're talking about prima donnas
Well,
that have been told
it's
yes their
great.
whole life.
Just play the game.
I understand where they're coming from. Would you? Okay, let's do it like this. Would you like it if your boss told you had to work an extra couple hours every week,
But get paid
but
the
you weren't
same?
going to get paid for it?
Right.
No,
Same
I
thing,
wouldn't
right?
like it.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
Go sign with the Orioles
Kind of,
then.
sort of.
You'll never be in the
that
playoffs.
sort of a way. They're trying to get more out of them without having to pay extra.
Now, the players want more revenue and claim the owners use creative accounting to show that players are getting an even share. Players want free agency to be available to any player who reaches 29 years old. And if they've completed 5 years of play, or players who have accrued 6 years of service at any age should become a free agent. Right now,
Correct.
That's not kind of how it works.
Didn't something just happen with a player? I heard about
Yes,
it today.
there-
I'm trying to
I'm trying to remember
recall his
too.
name.
But
they kind of screwed him, right?
Yes, and they
Yeah.
control the younger players. Like it's really, and what they can mess around with that too by keeping them in the minors before your years of service. So there's a lot of things
Right.
that happen that the players are against. The owners won't budge on that at all on the free agency. They like it. There's an arbitration process too that is never good. Think of
course they
arbitration
love
in
it.
hockey. How bad that gets. When I'm going to bring in you, I'm the owner, you're the player, and we like you. You do great, and I have to tell you in there, no, you really, you suck, and
Sure.
you know what I mean. Like arbitration
right.
gets ugly.
They're going to tell you why they're not going to pay you what you
Right.
want.
So that's a concern, but arbitration, the owners like it. Like I said, players are concerned that expanding the playoffs will. This is interesting, and I think this is true. Will motivate the owners to spend less on their players as they know they will benefit from playoff TV revenue. Makes sense, because why would the Pirates even care? Why would they look to spend more when they know they're going to get that huge chunk of
Right.
Like, what do you do with the money? Shouldn't that money have to go back into? And it doesn't go back into like competitiveness. Like when the Pirates get that luxury tax, I'm just using them as an example.
Right.
They get that luxury tax money. They shouldn't be able to just sit on it. and then
Right.
put it
Absolutely
into
not. You
and
should-
put it into their
yeah, I
oil
get what you're
field,
saying.
put it
Right.
into their
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right, they should have to spend it the
Yeah.
next offseason.
Yeah, that's what I
They
think.
should have. It should be stipulated things they should.
Right,
have
that
to
you
be able
have to
it.
spend that
Yeah.
offseason to make these
I agree with that.
teams go after free agents.
Who knows if that's ever going to happen?
No, it won't. It
But
probably
I mean, it
won't.
seems like they're pretty much, they're both not budging. I mean, from what I've heard, they said, they're just waiting. The other one's waiting for the other side to blink for the most part. That's why they don't even have anything scheduled. I'm told.
No,
right?
no.
I think I read
they-
something today.
They did 90 minutes yesterday, and now we'll wait again. I mean, because they did say they were going to come. Kind of said they were going to come back Thursday after the weekend. They made some comment like we can't meet again until Thursday, so they did. I mean, 90 minutes came with nothing. There are 2 series now, or 2 weeks canceled of the regular season.
Look at the damage they're doing to that sport.
Oh, MLP, and also players are very concerned about teams tanking because
That
they receive higher draft choices and all that, and then
they need to go to a lottery in every sport because it happens constantly. I'm sure it does all the time
Oh, it does.
in every sport, and I mean, think about that. Think of the effect that it has through all the other teams in the league when
Right.
teams decide to do that.
The
It
lottery
doesn't
does
affect
make
just
sense.
one team or two. It affects everybody in the league when they do things
And it
like that.
affects me betting. I think
Yeah,
that really-
100%, man. I got a problem with tanking.
When you start showing me DraftKings for every 2 minutes, I turn around,
Right.
FanDuel, DraftKings, this and that.
Right.
Yeah.
You better have it this going right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't want no.
You're going to start getting called out a lot more than you ever were.
Well,
yeah.
There's no doubt
so the only
about
thing
that.
I have against the lottery is the only sport that has there's 2 sports. Hockey has a lottery, and look at the Sabres. If there wasn't a lottery, they'd be a better team than they are. They would have had McDavid.
That's the
what
unexpected.
sucks.
It sucks.
But can't you have a
But
lottery?
it sucks. But they could have benefited on it 4 or 5 years in a row. Do you know what I
Correct.
mean? It's that.
They just, look at the Leafs.
It's
They
just really
benefited
luck.
the most.
Most of our teams around here are very lucky. The lottery system probably
But
won't
why-
work for us very well.
I'm
but-
wondering if they should kill the lottery system for the top 2 teams. Like,
Well,
the
you,
top
you
word-
should
But
do
then
something.
that
sure.
doesn't help the tanking process, though.
I know that's true.
Because then you're just
Yeah.
tanking to make sure you're the
Yeah,
worst.
Yeah, I know. It makes it worse, probably.
It's tough.
tanking-wise.
It's tough when
Yeah.
they sit down and they have to, try to hash this out and come up with ideas.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but
It's
I
hard.
heard this the other day, and I wanted to bring it up on the
Yeah,
show
go
because I knew we were going to talk about baseball. And like I've said, I'm no pro at baseball. I don't really watch it that much, but I do pay attention when they're talking sports and different sports. So I try to suck in everything that I can,
Right.
especially for this now. So there's a gentleman, Jet Passon, was on a podcast last week, and I heard him talking about the MLB and how much damage it's doing to the league with its fans. And he brought up these polls, and honestly, I think it's pretty amazing, and it really says a lot. I'm sure there's more than just them, not playing having an effect on these numbers. But in 1994, 40% of the public was with the owners, 20% was with the players, 40% just really didn't care. Now, as a poll that was just recent, he said that it was 11% for owners, 24% for players, and 65% of the public in this poll didn't care.
And
That's a humongous change.
And-
Obviously, it switched, to who they were with, but the percentage, that's just amazing
No,
to me
and
that it dropped
guess-
to that low. I mean, wow.
And if this USFL thing really starts to look
It-
good,
there's distractions now for
this
people.
is the best thing USFL could have ever happened to that league, is to
Right.
get baseball out of the way. They
Now
might
it's-
take
that's
over
it.
the summer,
That's all they have. Is that.
and
I mean,
now they're trying to have a little thing with the NFL too, a
Right.
little
Oh, it's going to be
partnership.
fun. It's
So
about
So what's
to
the
get
partnership
fun.
that
There's
they
going to be
just
a lot of
go?
things to watch.
Is it pretty much like a practice squad?
I had heard they were going to use some.
Farm team.
I heard
That's
they-
what it's. I think that's what it's probably going to come down to. Is
Who's
there's gonna be
that?
Farm
The
teams.
USFL.
The USFL?
And there's not going to be enough teams for 32, but make it each division gets one farm team.
Well, you're going to have the XFL, who's already working with the NFL.
Yeah, and I don't even know who the hell they are.
You
I
could-
compared
you
to
could-
I know,
USFL.
yeah, we haven't really seen much of that
You
product.
can make these
so
into farm NFL teams. There should be farm.
I think what they're
I guess
planning.
because the XFL, supposedly, they're going to try things out with them. It's not 100% going to be like a farm team thing. They've never said
They're
that.
trying rules
But they'll
out,
try out
different
different
things they
camera
wanna
things.
change,
Like
right.
they took that one cam, the Sky Cam from
like
the
the,
XFL last time.
test
We need to
bundle.
look into this. Somebody, what is the difference between the USFL? I can't believe there's going to be 2
Different football leagues.
that are going to try to do this.
Well,
Because
they should
this
have
makes
just.
no sense.
They should have just merged. And
Well, somebody's definitely going to fail.
Yeah.
They might both.
Right.
But I don't know. I think there's more hype around. I think there's more hype around that XFL just because of the rocks involved with it.
But I thought it.
Which
But
one
I guess
was
it's going to
just
depend on
confused.
the. You know what it comes down
USFL.
to? It's the product on the field. You
Yeah.
put on a show that entertains people, and it's not like.
Well, not when
I mean, the
chairs bust
XFL
over
last
their
time
head.
around was a little. It was a little. little crazy. I didn't really get into it, but you put out a decent product that people can watch.
If I
Imagine
was
that,
them, I wouldn't
you know?
see
I know.
who
In
drowned.
the off season, you can watch
Right.
another type of. I mean, who's not for that? I'm for football 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm sure the players aren't, but you know.
What? But does anyone know?
Gives them a better chance of making the team.
I gotta
though.
look it up.
Sure.
I gotta look it up. If
Think
anyone
of how
out
that
there,
would benefit these guys.
if anyone knows, say something because
Sure.
I'm
Somebody look it up
confused
for us.
on the XFL. And
I'm against
USFL.
the one that just drafted recently.
I
That's
like
the one
it.
I don't like.
You know, I like that.
I think the way that they
That's
made
one
these
I like.
guys draft these
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
USFL, right?
was
I'm a
garbage.
I like the
Yeah.
USFL.
I don't know much about USFL.
It was just
I looked
the way
at
that
more
they
the
did it.
XFL.
It was a quarterback, and then
Yeah.
the bottom, whoever drafted in the 8th overall pick would draft the first defense, the last
We
offense.
went the wrong way
That
here.
it was just
Yeah.
weird.
I hardly recognized a single name out of every team.
There's a couple, but
There was
like
a couple,
why
yeah.
I
make-
don't watch college ball, but I
Why
didn't know
make
if there was
them
going to be
do
some
that, though?
ex-NFL guys there, but I didn't.
Drew Lock. I think
Was Drew Lock there? I
Yeah.
didn't. I
He's a
didn't see
backup
him.
to someone.
Drew Lock.
He's a back.
I think was that the right guy? Who am I saying? No,
You
no,
know,
no, no,
no,
no.
Paxton
no, no.
Lynch. Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Why
I
did
was gonna
say Paxton
say,
Lynch. I'm
holy
sorry,
cow.
not Drew Lock. Same guy.
It's just
Um,
the
Just say,
draft.
isn't he still in the
The
NFL?
draft was just strange.
same guy though. Really, the
Pretty
same.
much, yeah.
All right.
A little better version.
Let's
of
go
you.
back to baseball for a second.
Okay.
Derek Jeter quits abruptly. Quits as not owner. But he was part of the owning
CEO,
process. Yeah, he was going to be in
Just
charge of
straight
baseball.
CEO? Was there another part to the
Yeah,
title?
but there was someone higher than him.
Okay.
So Jeter abruptly quits. I mean, it was out of nowhere and you know how there was no rumor.
Good for him.
He leaves and resigns in Miami because Jeter believed going into this season. Now he did a press conference when he first went there and said, "There's going to be 4 years of just pain here. It's going to be terrible. We got to clean it out." Blah, blah, all this.
Good.
He did a great job getting Stanton out. It was unbelievable that he was able to trade. The Yankees did him a favor, I
I
think.
thought Sam was traded before him.
No, I think he did it. I think Jeter did it.
Huh.
Or maybe you're right. Again, we'll have to figure that out. But either way, the Yankees did someone a favor there because whoever took that. All right. So he was promised year 5, we're going to start spending. He expected to have $15 million to spend. Marlins chairman Bruce Sherman kind of pulled it, and Jeter said, "I'm leaving." He said, "This is not the way that I expected it to be. This was the year of competitiveness, and I'm gone."
Ah, okay.
Good.
What does that do, though? Isn't that funny, though?
Good for Jeter for walking away after. Good for him, man.
But that's
Good
got to
that he did that.
help
That's
the
awesome.
players in this lockout. What Jeter just said there. He's telling you the Marlins don't want to be competitive. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
He just came right out and told
Are
you.
they saying that be competitive or try to be more like Tampa Bay and build through their farm though?
Oh, I don't know. But they won't spend money.
That's the thing.
Was he
MLB 's
disillusioned and thought he was going to be able to
Spend $15 million.
Fix
He thought he was
fix the team faster?
He thought he was getting the keys to the offseason, and he must not have got
You
them.
didn't get them. And yeah, right. That's
'Cause-
exactly.
Oh, yeah,
There's
sure
no
then,
reason
yeah.
Javi Baez wasn't there. They should have went after him.
Yeah, he would have been perfect
He's
there.
right.
It's perfect. It doesn't
Perfect.
fit-
Miami, where he would
Yeah.
want to be.
It
He would get to
perfect.
play shortstop like he wanted to be.
They've been somewhat competitive, the Marlins, this year. Like, not so bad. It isn't like it
Not
I mean,
was.
were
as bad
they
as-
showing just like a steady improvement each
You
season?
see the young players that are really good. They had good.
They have.
I mean,
Okay,
I can't-
was Jeter having an effect on the team?
Yes, he
What he was
definitely
doing
did.
there?
He cleaned out the team for those 4 years. Was him?
That if he had a plan and they had agreed to it,
Yeah, and
the
they
guy
ripped
bailed,
it.
then good
You know,
on him for taking off.
It's honestly
I mean,
what the Buffalo
what do you do at
Sabres
that
need,
point?
though. They need to gut the team and then just restart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
instead of doing whatever this is that they've been doing for the last 10 years.
No, it's
But it's kind of like what the Miami Dolphins did. They gutted everything, traded
lot of
all their
team-
players away.
yeah. No, I've watched many. That's what he did, and
But
he took off now because they won't spend.
if I was a
at this point.
Marlins player, I'd be happy, though. Like, at least, like, the GM, coach, whatever you want to call Derek Jeter that he was, he's coming to let you know that, like, hey, this is going to be a rough 3 years.
right? He's telling
But
you
in
to telling
year
it to you straight right off
year
the bat.
4, we're going at it.
Prepare.
that first year,
So he obviously had a good. He obviously had a plan in place. If
Right.
they were slowly showing progress, I mean,
that first year,
Then how do you-
when
how do
he
you argue
came
with
in,
that?
I don't know how many of them showed up. It seemed like a lot. I don't know. Season ticket holders and him. He's
Sure.
there. They're out there, and he told them this is going to be horrible for the next
Good
3-4
for-
years.
good for him.
well, they
I
probably
just
and
let
they,
you
they put
know.
their trust in him.
Yeah. So
They
New
put
York
their
should be on the
trust in
phone with
him.
them already calling him. Join the Yankees.
yeah. Well,
Come join.
Remember the movie Major League
yes.
where all the players supposed to suck and they kicked ass?
Yeah.
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 That'd be awesome.
That was the what are they called now? They're not the Indians no more.
The Tampa Bay Rays is what they are
The
right now.
Cleveland, what are they called? Defender? No, Robin. What are they? They're the
Guardians?
Guardians.
Guardians.
'Cause it's those statues all around
Yeah.
Cleveland. They named it after.
Yeah, I don't-
Really?
Yeah, kind of cool. I see. Yeah.
Is it all right? Does it
I
work?
don't like the Commanders. I like the Guardians better.
The Commanders.
Commander's got some nice jerseys.
I do
though.
like that.
I like the jerseys,
Good
but
for
the
them.
name, when I heard I can't remember what they were. There were some other names that they could have went with, and I was
probably
just like, why would you go with Commanders when you had
Correct.
better options?
All right.
Like,
What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna let's do this real fast before I go to something else. Major League Baseball, you guys. I mean, there is no steroids coming. There isn't.
Who
1995 isn't happening again.
what is it that could possibly bring people back?
No,
I mean, other than a home
And
run,
you're not gonna get
competition.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're.
Those days are done.
The
Like
lockout's
we're-
the
People-
worst thing that could happen
You
for
know,
baseball, though.
last time this happened, I remember hearing people say that they weren't going to go back. So I wonder how many people
Oh, I'm going
said
back.
I'm done and didn't go back. I mean, like we said earlier, you know, there's diehards.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of diehard
Right,
baseball. But I wonder how much of this gets on people's nerves and they just
The
stop
thing
and they're
that's
like,
weird
I'm done.
is it was already dying, sadly, for baseball.
now,
it was
like
already,
people like me, I'll never go back.
Right. You see,
I'm barely here
That's what
now.
I mean. You
it
see
was,
what I mean?
It was already dying. It was already an old person's sport. It was already.
Dude, when a game starts at 4 and then you don't, those
That's
games
the
go
problem.
late.
That's
But
the
hey,
problem.
It's too long. That's why I can't watch
see,
baseball. That's why I can't be into
and to
baseball.
me-
Sometimes
and
it
to
just
me-
takes so much
And to me,
time.
if you can't handle that, don't go or don't
Right.
watch.
Right.
I mean,
That's
I'll
right.
go.
And
Because
that's why I don't.
But I don't want the game to change. I don't want you to put a time
Sure.
limit on it. I don't want you to tell me that it's got to be quicker. I
Correct.
don't want you to tell me anything.
Right. Well, plenty of
It
people
is,
like it.
it is what it is, and if you don't like it,
Isn't it?
Don't watch.
I feel the same way as you guys. I don't like baseball, but isn't it so different if you're there?
Right? Yeah, you got to go
Oh,
there.
well, that's, yeah,
But that's-
exactly.
it's
I mean,
only-
I could watch a
it's
baseball
also
game
different.
in person.
Life is so slow
Sure.
if you're there.
Us in
Right.
Western New York don't have much to do, so going to a baseball game is exhilarating to us. There's nothing here. There's nothing.
baseball can't be touched anymore. They've already screwed it enough. I mean,
Right, but
they've
I don't
already
know how
done
they come
things.
back from this, man.
You
It's-
just play baseball.
Let's see how long they're out
Here's
for
what
first.
you do. You decide eventually, you know what, we're never going to compete with NBA and NFL, ever. But we're kind of in the NHL's category, and the NHL's doing
Yeah,
fine.
right, sure.
So you
And-
might have to contract some teams. You might want to take a few back because there might be too many teams. And you realize,
There's
you know,
too
there,
many games.
you are going to have a core.
Correct.
And you might be able to sell out a 30,000 seat stadium. The days of selling out the 60 and 80,000 seat for baseball
that
ain't happening no more.
Well, it's just hard that
Or the 50.
the times that
So-
these guys play is just difficult. I don't know.
Well, it's hard when you're on the West
know what-
Coast. You never see Mike Trout. I mean, that's like
That's
someone to be
wild.
nice to see.
One of the better players in the whole league,
Yeah.
the top 5 in most people's opinion, and you don't even get to see him because he's rotting away in Anaheim.
No.
He's like by the time that everybody's going to sleep, like no one cares.
I know,
But
that
wait a
sucks.
minute,
I
but
see
people watch
sometimes how long those
LeBron, and he's in LA. I mean,
Well,
they have no problems watching.
Well, that's the difference.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
there's a
Lakers,
time limit
though.
on that
I
game.
You know who saves baseball?
I mean,
Shohei Ohtani.
He is incredible.
Yeah, he's-
There's another guy you don't see playing for the Angels. He's
Right.
ridiculous.
It's just, but then why do free agents keep going here?
And how about the fact that they voted no? They
Right.
don't want. They were one of the teams that voted against the cap growing. Isn't that so interesting that the Angels would do that?
Really?
Having Trout and Ohtani, and they usually spend. But
you'd think they'd welcome it.
Ohtani's
You know
unbelievable.
about Ohtani? No.
He's
No,
unbelievable.
I don't.
He's the new Babe Ruth.
He pitches.
Oh, really?
He
Pitches, hits home runs.
Really?
he
Rookie of the year.
I'll
batted.
definitely look
He
him up.
batted 300. He batted 300 and 100 strikeouts. Like he does it both.
Right.
It's just
Has there ever been a guy that other
Babe
than
Ruth.
that's it? No one ever
Not in
comparable?
modern baseball,
Really?
no.
That's
Not that-
I love
not
that.
that I know of,
I'll definitely
no.
look it up. I love stories like
yeah.
that.
He's
There's not that
unbelievable.
many good hitting pitchers, let alone him.
No. Yeah, and he's.
I was
like
just gonna say
Now
you
it
said he's
doesn't
a
matter,
pitcher
though.
and he's such a great hitter. I'm like,
They
but most of the
DH
time
him.
don't the pitchers
Think about
usually
it.
Yeah.
suck when they grab the bat.
They DH him when it's not his turn to pitch, and he'll
Oh,
bat
okay.
third.
So then what about
He'll
him?
bat
That's
third,
awesome.
yeah.
He should get more salary than everybody else. He pitches. He should get
He's
a pitching
incredible.
salary. And Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah,
He's the same.
yeah.
He does what Giancarlo Stanton does, and then on his every 5 games he pitches 2.
And he's better than Stanton.
Right.
Like he might be the best in the game hitting. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's
where
incredible.
he's at.
And you know how many cards we
Yeah, we have a lot of cards.
That's why he was so excited
And,
to
yeah.
tell.
Oh, wait till Dwayne Haskins' name comes up or Jamie Newman. All hell's gonna break loose here.
Oh, he's the one.
Jamie Newman, man. Well, we'll talk about him some other day. Why don't we get off of that? Before I take a break, I want to talk about Alex Ovechkin real fast and the Russian situation that's going on. Alex Ovechkin's the one I'm going to talk about just because he's probably
The headliner.
He's the biggest one.
Right.
Biggest star out of it, yeah.
And he's been with this company since he's been in the
Yeah,
NHL.
he's never left Washington, and he
Or CCM.
right. Well, CCM, Mutual, what the hell was the name of it? Mass Mutuals, another, and there was one other. They took the endorsements from him, and other Russians that might have endorsements, along with not allowing like players, the Belarus or Russians, to compete in World Cup or compete in anything else. So they did all that. Ovechkin has said they've interviewed him a million times trying to get him to say something.
They want him to say
I could
something.
tell, and he keeps saying, "Look, I have friends in Ukraine. I have He goes, I need it to stop. He said in his broken it. I need peace. I need it to stop. I have friends in Ukraine. This needs to stop."
Correct.
So I don't know.
That's
point of
interesting
taking
that they
these
would
guys.
take. Yeah, why
Stop.
would they? I mean,
It's
I guess
overreaction.
I could. It's definitely an overreaction because if he didn't put out a pro-Russia statement of any sort, you know what I mean, where he didn't condemn it, and he is kind of condemning it by just saying he wants the war to stop. Nobody wants the war. There's only like one person or maybe four that want the war.
Cut
Other than
his
that,
funds.
I mean, it's a horrible situation. But to take those endorsements, that's a bad look on them. I'm sorry.
I thought so too.
I think it is.
There'd be no point. It makes no
Yeah,
sense.
it doesn't make any sense to me.
And also
He puts his money over here. I mean,
not allowing the players to play in these different.
that I can understand more.
I don't get it. Like I don't know why I
I'm on
would.
the opposite side.
At
as
what?
you guys.
Because you got to understand it's a pressure campaign. I mean, that's why they're not trying
But it's
to
all
hurt that
propaganda.
individual player, but
Yeah.
they're trying to, that stacked on top of this and then stacked on this. It just applies more pressure. It's unfortunate, but it's part of.
Yeah, it's all it's propaganda
part of the
bullshit. Is really what
bullshit.
it is. It's propaganda. I mean,
It's unfortunate.
if you
It's part
think-
of the politicians
If you
of the
think
country.
watching
are
the
ones that control
news,
it.
Russian soldiers are really punching holes in their gas
Gas
tank?
tanks.
They're not. That's outrageous.
I'm sure it isn't.
Come
I mean,
on.
who-
Do you think
who
the
knows?
Russian soldiers
There's
are
so many
weeping?
videos out there
I mean,
that are probably not even true, but but how do you know?
I don't know. That's why
We don't. I mean, it could be true.
That's why I
you
don't.
gotta remember they were told something different. They were told that the Ukrainians are going to welcome them with open arms, and then them open arms with some AK-47s.
Yeah, but how do we even know any of this is true? Is my problem when it comes to
How
this
do we know
war
if
stuff.
anything's ever true?
Because
Oh my
But when
God!
you- but
Don't
when
do
you're-
this to me.
But when you're in war,
I'm not going down this rabbit.
but
hole.
when you're in war, how in
so
the
we got a
hell?
speck of dirt underneath the fingernail of a giant.
How in the world would you know any of this? Hear me, and then I'm gonna get off
Social
of this.
media.
I'm gonna get off of this.
I mean,
listen to this.
some of it's got to be true.
Get this. Now, this is what a joke of this whole thing is.
Okay.
I am sitting here and I put on BBC News. It's because I was going through Roku and I'm looking at that. They say one person on there from London says Vladimir Putin is. I can't believe this. I've sat down with him before, and he's losing his mind. He's not normal. He's not normal like he used to. Oh my God, he's not normal. Okay, so now you're telling me he's worse than he now.
I've heard
is
this whole
delusional.
narrative all week long. On different
So then now I flick over to American TV. Here's Condoleezza Rice. She says the same thing. I go to another. They're all saying it. It feels like it's some sort of this was being pushed for a reason.
Now I saw someone get challenged on that,
right.
and they said it's not like he's all crazy, whatever. They said he seems the things he's doing are out of character for him. Certain things that he's doing, they are not going to tell you exactly what it is. But I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just telling you what I heard.
All right. Yeah,
All right?
because I just
He'll
know
kill a messenger.
He attacked.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. He
hate
killed
politics.
Crimea. He killed everybody. The whole thing about this, though, is
mean,
politics and sports unfortunately intermingle.
Yeah,
and
it sucks when it does, and it's
I-
unfortunate for
Just cut his funds
for everybody.
Don't let Ovechkin get sponsored. He's Russian.
but what's he doing?
He doesn't get nothing. Play with a wooden stick for all I care. CCM should have pulled that.
So you're thinking that maybe all the Russians
Any
should get
single Russian on our land should get everything cut off. So yeah, go back over there then.
But why?
But if
They're not hurting
he
him.
lives here and
Because he
spends
also
all his money here,
he's
why
also
would
the
we
same
want to
guy
cut him
that
out?
when the Olympics weren't allowed to play in the NHL, he was ready to leave to go back to Russia.
And he didn't.
And
do
now all
it.
of a sudden he doesn't want to claim Russia because it's going to not benefit him.
Oh, he did not claim Russia. He said he had family on both sides.
But
right?
Russia. But wait a minute. But Russia's not hurting me here in the United States. The only thing
Correct.
that's hurting me is the gas prices that it's causing by the embargo.
So it is
all
hurting
that.
you.
Right.
That's the only.
So,
but that's
but it
not
does have an
Russia-
effect
but
on it
that's
because gas went up
but
like
that's
70
not-
cents in 24 hours.
But
I
that's
think,
not
or something
Russia's
like that.
issue. That's the
Right.
issue of us doing that,
Well.
causing me not to be able to get the whatever. My
Right,
point
right.
being that they're not in any way harming. They're not coming to. The United States, Canada, are good. They're not being. The Russians aren't coming. They're not.
Oh, yeah,
coming.
no, yeah.
Correct.
I
So-
think we know that.
So why in the world do I need to stop Alex Ovechkin from doing a commercial.
Maybe they think he may be funneling money to people over there in higher positions. Who knows? I mean, we don't know. We don't know what they think. Maybe they're like, you know what? I don't even want to take the chance.
That's probably
Let me just
more
separate
like
myself
it.
from
That's
them now,
it.
Which
That's
which very well
Right.
could be what it
the
is.
rule you put
That's
on
it.
them then.
That's
So
it.
You cannot send money to Russia right now.
That's
I'm sure they're just better. It's better off. It looks
Yeah.
better.
CCM and his endorsements aren't going to change anything. He's still getting money from the NHL.
overreaction.
It looks better if they just go,
You also can't-
sorry, I don't want to take the chance. Because if
It's
they
also
come out and make a
difficult to tell someone
statement,
not
then
to
you're
spend
held
the
to
money how they want.
something, and then
Yeah.
that hurts you if you try to hire someone else to be your spokesperson. Or
Anything
Got
going-
some sicko
anything going
Mexican
on over there?
jerseys, though.
No? Okay. My point is, though, you're right. It's probably them just saying, it's overreaction like everything in our...
Everything's an overreaction.
Unfortunately.
Anymore.
You jump the gun, and then next thing you know, you're winding it back. And that just seems to be what we
Probably
do.
because we're just so used to things being so fucking bad when
Right.
they happen.
Why don't we go and take a break now? It's we're halfway home, but we got to get into NFL stuff, and that always takes time.
Yes.
Oh, it's
So,
going to take a lot of time.
Love it.
Let's head on to the NFL. We'll be back shortly here. But that was a good politics thing. I couldn't believe that rolled. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Well, it's
Yeah, no.
inevitable. I mean, you can't.
It had to. No, not yet. No, not yet. Here we go. There we are. We'll be back. Yeah, All right, we're back. Thank you for that. Before we get going real quick, let's talk about the NFL overtime issue again. The Colts, I guess, proposed something about basically what we were saying last week. It was everyone, I guess everyone gets a chance no matter if you score a touchdown or not.
Correct.
And they want that in the regular season too. So not just for the playoffs.
Well, it shouldn't be just sort of playoffs. Like, what is that, MLB that does that? The guy on second base for playoffs?
Yeah, right.
Why change everything for the
NHL.
playoffs? That drives me crazy.
NHL does.
Yeah, if they're gonna make a decision,
Yeah.
set it in stone. Move
Yeah, I don't
forward.
know
They had
why
to do
any of
something.
those other
They gotta
guys
do
do that.
something.
I honestly don't. I think I said this last week. I don't really care what they do. Just do whatever.
I never really
Wouldn't
thought
even
it was
bother.
fair in the first
The
place.
whole
that
season,
that
though.
both teams, when you go to overtime, each team should have a chance. to
I didn't
touch.
even care when you got the ball and kicked a field goal and won.
Yeah, no.
It
as
didn't
long
bother.
as-
But I mean, I didn't care that no one touched it.
Oh, really?
I get the ball, go score. That's the game. I'm out.
That's
Correct.
But I lost. No, I understand. But I was, as a fan, I was on the bad end of that many
Right, correct.
times.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I didn't care. It just seemed like, okay, this is what we do, and that's it. I go.
I know, but when you
walk
got
off.
a team that you know could probably have easily gone down and then scored probably a touchdown instead of that field goal,
But that happens in anything, though.
No, I know that.
You know, but I mean,
as
I know
long as
people-
both teams get the opportunity to touch.
I know people that are okay with the home team getting to pick which they get first, the ball or the kick, and one field goal ends the game. That's part of the best part of home field advantage. That you automatically win the coin toss because you're home. This is a discussion I had this week. You automatically win the coin toss because you're home, and then one field goal, you win the game. It's over.
I've heard that.
Just be home field. Have a better record. And
I like
just
the
keep it the
competition.
same.
I like the competition myself. I like to see. I just like to see if the other team could.
Yeah.
But I just say the
and
other
come
team
back.
should stop them.
Correct.
Their defense should stop
Defense
them.
is supposed to win
You know?
championships.
But
It's supposed to
I'm
win an OT
not
too.
bringing it up because it's the Bills. But think about how tired those guys were.
Right.
Correct.
At that point in the game. It's going to be fairly easy for one of those offenses to just blare down that field like nobody's business.
Yeah,
If
'cause
if you're defensive,
they were-
the head
yeah,
coach
they-
of the defensive, whoever's calling the plays calls, terrible defenses, which happened in the Bills game.
And
Then it is what it is.
in OT, just put both teams on the same
Right.
yard line, and we each get a possession. There you go.
Now, you could do it that way.
Put them on the 40 or the 20, or it doesn't matter as long as it's the same either
I
way.
say you run it just
I
normal.
hate
And
it.
whoever scores the same amount of points scores the same amount of points. That's what college used to do, or it still does.
I'm so
It's
disgusted.
the best. Each team gets the ball on the 35-yard line.
I'm very disgusted by it.
You get a feel.
Robin,
of
any
it.
thoughts on overtime? Robin?
I certainly don't like the way that it is now. How I would do it, I would actually probably play another timed amount.
Right.
And
That's
let
what the
it-
Bills want to do.
And let it play out how.
That's what the Bills have proposed. It's
Yeah.
Like a
it's
10-minute
it's a-
quarter or something.
It's a time thing. Yeah, and I can get. You know what?
I can get
can
behind
behind
that.
Only
Yeah,
thing is though, I can.
Because
I
then
can.
you're gonna- the
But
timeouts
what if
come
I hold
into
on to the
play.
ball?
What if you hold on to the ball for
I
8
could do
minutes
that.
out of 10, and then now you only get a 2
Or
minute
if I-
drive?
I can hold on to it forever.
But you've had. I mean, I don't know.
If
That's
you've been
tough.
given, if
I know, it
if
is
you
tough.
are
It's
tough enough though to hold on to the ball for that
Correct.
entire period of time, then you deserve to win. I don't think there's any.
But
Yeah,
that,
there would be-
but
yeah.
it goes the
I think at that point in the game,
It's
the
just
odds
like
of
a-
you being able to hold on to the ball that long, due to how tired your team probably is at that point, it's got to be hard.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of 10-minute drives in the fourth quarter generally. That's usually in the first half. Most times that I've seen them.
And you don't really see two teams. A lot of times, these teams. I mean, this was a special situation here with two offenses that were better than the defenses and were just moving along. I mean, I don't
Head
know
and
if
shoulders above,
if I
no
see
doubt.
that much. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. You always felt this way, you guys. I never did in my
I'm
life.
more of a get it like college, and both teams get the ball on the 35-yard line and with a 2-minute drill.
Did you really see it this way?
Honestly, it didn't never, like back in the day, I never thought about it. But as I got older and and they change rules so often now, or they generally didn't that much. It wasn't
Right.
so drastic all the time. But I've always thought each team should have an opportunity to touch the ball. It's just they just played, and when especially in the postseason. I mean, come on, you just killed yourself for 17 weeks, 18 weeks, and then
season
it's
comes
over
down to
like
a-
that because somebody flipped the coin and called heads. Because you knew whoever got the ball in that KC Bills game was probably going to win.
Correct.
They were definitely, because both defenses were getting just blasted the whole game. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, it had been a mistake. Yeah, I know. I just.
Do you see what I'm saying? But it's not always going to work out like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like if Jacksonville, hate to pick on Jacksonville, but odds are if they were to get into overtime, they're lucky.
Well, how about the old?
They're not going to go flying down the field most likely and score.
I won't go too far back, but how about we go to the old Baltimore teams where the defense was the strength of that team?
Correct.
You know what I mean? They are the ones.
I'm so
The
surprised
Bears
you still
team
see
of
that
the year with Urlacher. I mean,
Right, I know
that
what you mean,
was
though.
the-
Shutdown defenses. I mean,
how do I work for them if I'm going to work only for offenses? You see what I'm
Right.
trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean.
it's-
It's tough. It's very hard.
'Cause you gotta
That's
have
why we
both
don't get
teams
paid the kind of
possess-
dollars
yeah.
to make these
Right.
decisions.
Both teams have to
No,
possess
because
the ball.
Because I would say I like it the way it is. I like it the way it was in the 80s. I don't care.
And then
You
the
get
next
ball.
time it happens again, which
Keeps
I mean
happening.
that happened pretty close. Happening with KC,
Yeah.
and then happening with Buffalo against KC, no less. I mean,
I'm
and Andy
good.
Reid even said it right after that game. He said, "Yeah, they should have had an opportunity to touch the ball."
All right, let's get on to some other stuff. More
All
NFL news before we have to leave. Is the the endless free agent stuff and everything
I just read some
else.
good stuff while we were on break too.
Let me bring up some names, and I guess then you guys will just take over in a lot of it. Let's go with this one first. This was something I saw earlier in the week, and it was just something that I felt, in my opinion, Saquon Barkley was not worth me trading for if I'm a team.
No,
I would
I'm
not.
sending
absolutely
it in.
I don't want anything to do with him.
As soon as he becomes available, I'm sending that third, fourth round pick for him.
I'm going to group it in with and say Christian McCaffrey. Either McCaffrey. Why would these guys can't stay healthy at all?
Yeah, I don't want.
They're
either
China.
one. Yeah.
Why do you want any part of that?
I don't know.
'Cause it's going to cost you a good buck to get them.
And I don't. Well, I got to keep him for 1 year.
Well,
I don't want
Barkley,
to sign him for
I guess.
4.
Well, Barkley now they said they have had no one even contact.
They
them
said a
regarding
fourth round
trade.
pick for Barkley's even compensation.
But what do I have?
Just
to...
on my way in, I read that they said they're not even. It's very unlikely they're even going to trade him.
Who, Barkley?
Yeah,
Or-
they're probably not
well,
even
I
trading
can't imagine anyone's gonna. Because what kind of contract do I got to give him when he comes? I don't want him for 5 years.
He's got a contract.
He's going to want a
How-
contract.
what's it left? What's he got?
Yeah,
A year
but how
left?
many
got
he's got
2-3
left?
years
One,
left.
right?
I don't
I
want.
thought he had 1
oh
year
my
left.
God, I don't want that contract. I don't want anything to do with him.
No way, absolutely
because,
not.
Yeah, I don't want it.
That's crazy. I'm gonna disagree. I gotta yell here because we're talking about a dude who has a stat like just talking about with fumbles. He didn't fumble since like high school before his recent fumble this year or whatever. We're talking about him going all the way through college and high school without fumbling a ball. The only stat I've heard better than that is Fitzgerald having more tackles than dropped passes. That's the only stat I've heard that's better than that. We're talking about a dude who had a bad year.
I don't know if he had a bad year.
Okay,
I think
I'm
he had
gonna
a bad.
challenge you
I
with
don't
this.
think he had a bad year.
So you spent. Let's say
Who?
let's say
Barkley?
he cost
Yeah.
you.
There's no. If you're the Buffalo Bills, there's no way you're
Injury.
not sending a third round pick for him.
oh my God,
way.
that would be
No way.
outrageous.
Why would you not?
Why
Because
would you?
he's not going to play.
If he's not going to play, he's going to be hurt by week 2, and then
Yeah.
you got to
But
answer
here's-
questions for 16
he
weeks.
can't. He can't stay healthy.
He
He's
never
he's
stays
just-
healthy.
he may not fumble.
I
but
like
he
the
can't
guy.
stay
He was
healthy.
phenomenal coming into the NFL. I thought he
makes-
was going to be great. He's
What's
got
he make?
massive
Next
legs,
year, his
dude.
next
He
year's
can't
last year,
stay
his cap
healthy.
is $7 million. There is no way, no possible way, if I'm one running back, especially a team, the Buffalo Bills, that are a running back and 2 other positions away from winning that game last year or the year before,
You see-
that you don't send for Saquon
Yeah, but they
Barkley.
weren't because
Saquon
the running
Barkley's
game came on at
touches-
the end of the season. They didn't need to. The second half of the season, Singletary was
There's
the
no way.
running game had turned on. They didn't have that problem anymore.
If you-
first half they did, second half they did not.
Saquon Barkley on Buffalo Bills, they were in the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I don't know.
And you guys
I don't
keep
know.
talking about how like they're China, whatever. That these 2 running backs are not going to a good team like the Buffalo Bills and touching the ball X amount of times that they were touching it. So their longevity is going to last longer.
I know, but
with the
they're
team
a
that
hit
passes it.
Can't do
away.
it. I
There's,
couldn't
hit
do it.
away.
there's no way I can't do it.
I couldn't.
It is
I couldn't.
Saquon
It's
Barkley.
way
who's
too
supposed to be
much
the next
money, and they have
biggest
more
No
things
way.
to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't
They
touch
have-
either one of them.
I wouldn't have him if you pay.
I mean, I
they'd
guess
have
it would
to pay me.
Wait,
if
I
was a
guess
team.
I would need to hear what they want.
His-
I need to hear money.
If you send a
because
third
I
or
can't
fourth-
just blanket statement say
I don't want to pay him $7 million a year, and I don't want him for more than 1 year.
absolutely not.
Okay,
You give me
He
1
should
year.
be on. He should be more on a prove-a contract at this point, as far as I'm
Give me
concerned.
1 year,
He's
I'd do
always
it.
hurt.
That's fine.
So show me,
Who-
and
who
then,
would
then
you-
sure I'll reward you and give you an extension and give you some money. But show me why I need to, because you haven't showed me shit since you were drafted.
Who
I
helps
mean,
the Bills win more?
where did they go?
Cole Beasley or Saquon Barkley?
Ooh, Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, but Cole Beasley-
and now the only reason why I use those 2, when you cut Cole Beasley, that's $6.5 million. Now you're going to take on Saquon Barkley's contract for less than $1 million and sending. You're paying $1 million for
Yeah,
a
but
third
that's-
round pick.
That's kind of
Buffalo
that's,
just
that's,
they don't
that's
they
not.
don't think of the running back position
But-
in those
but you
regards
get-
anymore. They just
listen,
don't.
go-
You could tell.
wait a minute.
You could tell because if anything,
Go-
when they made some kind of a move last year, they knew they were on the precipice of going to the
They don't
Super Bowl
run the ball.
possibly. So what? Well, there you go. That's why
But-
they didn't.
and
I
then
was
they
mad
win if
last
they
year. I
run the
thought
ball.
they would add someone. They had Breida. I thought he was going to play a bigger role, and he just didn't. He just didn't for whatever reason.
Remember when you guys had the running backs, McGahee, CJ.
But then you didn't
Oh
have a
my God, but
quarterback,
look
so
what
it
you had
didn't
around
matter.
him.
Go
It
look.
sucks.
Go look at running backs. They last how long? 5
I just
years.
said it again tonight.
Right,
yeah.
but
And this guy can't last 3. You're going to bring him in to do what?
break your heart.
You're
at
bringing
week
him in to take you
14
to the Super Bowl.
when you need
I
him
don't
the
even know if
most.
he
And
would.
he's, you know why? He's gonna break your heart. You're gonna get to week 14. You're gonna be like, we're going to the bowl, baby, and he's gonna blow out his knee
I
or
don't
his
know if
ankle
he's
or
the
something,
same-
and you're
I don't know if he's
and
the
then you're
same
gonna
guy.
lose in the
Did-
first round of the
Adrian
playoffs,
Peterson-
and everyone's gonna leave.
Adrian Peterson
right?
came off with 2
That's
major
what
surgeries
happens,
and still
man.
did his
That's
thing.
Derrick Henry.
Those are the decisions.
He did.
Those,
Right, so
9
why
out
are
of
we-
10
And he
times
kicked his
that's how
kids in
that
the
ends
nuts.
up.
We cannot be dismissing
He
Saquon
kicked his kids in the
Barkley.
nuts.
I'm not dismissing Saquon Barkley.
He needs
What
to
I'm
go to New
saying
Orleans.
is he's not worth the contract that
It's only
that
1
he's
year,
going to
$7
want.
million.
1 year.
No,
I'll give him
but
1.
he's But he's not worth the money he's going to want. I'm sure he thinks he's way better than that.
That's why you get. I would do the 1 year.
So he's not going to. He's. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see what they're going to.
I'd give him
somebody's
1
willing
year.
to pay
Like
him.
the Bears. I wouldn't
Give
take
him,
him
no, I got David Montgomery.
Right.
They don't need him. I'm saying the Bills.
Well, that too.
Any
He's
other
not going to
team.
go to the Bills. He's going to go to a team
Any
where
team that needs
he's
a
going.
running
He's
back.
going to go be the running back for like Jared Goff,
Actually,
or somebody like that. He's not going to go to Buffalo.
Actually, Saquon Barkley would be good on the Bears to be Montgomery's backup. That'd be fine by me.
He never signed
if he was, no, he wouldn't. But that's where I'd
Remember,
see
he
it.
doesn't have
Right.
to sign. It's a trade.
A trade, right?
So he has to play.
So it's 1 year left on his deal, right? So
Right.
when I get him this year, it's only 1 year.
So if you're
All right.
if you need a running back,
If nobody's reaching out yet and he's tradable and it's been talked about for weeks, that's pretty telling about what most of the other teams in the NFL think about him, don't you think?
I guess I just.
Why would when no one's reached out?
Yeah, I'm
Now,
not. I'm not
Aaron Rodgers, I don't know why Green Bay put out no one. They said no one reached out. Was it because people were just like, he's probably staying with Green Bay?
maybe.
Or was it? I mean, because why would you not want that guy running your offense?
but why would you not want Saquon Barkley in the Buffalo Bills?
I didn't say I didn't want him. I said I don't want to pay him.
But you're only
Because
paying
you know
him-
why?
you're only paying him $7
because
million.
I'm going to
Less
pay
than that,
him.
actually.
I'm going to pay him,
If it's 1 year,
and I got a mediocre offensive line. I pay him, and then he what's he going to average? 3 yards per carry. He may be a great running back, but if he doesn't have a good offensive line in front of him, he's nothing.
The offense line's not. He's
question-
never had a good offense line. or
Our
a
offensive
quarterback.
line's not. I mean,
you
it's
watch-
serviceable,
He's the
but it's
vocal
not
point
fantastic.
of the Giants'
It's average.
offense. He's the only thing in there.
yeah.
Can
and
I
he's
can I
terrible.
say something?
There's nothing else they have.
And this is not a dig on the Miami Dolphins. I want to preface this by saying this. I want to say this because I don't know much about your coach.
He's awesome.
I know for. I listened to that guy in an interview today.
Isn't he beautiful?
Okay, beautiful, dude. Me and about 20 other people were on there. I says this guy takes some edibles before he did this
Dude,
interview.
he's awesome.
Is he high as shit?
That's the
because
thing.
he sounds. I said I messaged John and I said I'm listening to this interview right now and I don't know how Stephen Ross at 100 years old
He's awesome.
took this guy seriously. No. I'm not saying
Right,
he's not a
because
good coach.
if he's on these
it's the way
podcasts-
he comes across.
If he's on the he's saying dude and bro a lot. It just
Well,
seems
and it's not just that. I saw him
Yeah,
during his
he's-
press conference.
he's
He just
goofy.
doesn't even look like a coach
Right.
at all.
He looks like a child.
He's probably going to be fantastic. Yeah, he does. He looks
Right.
like I don't know,
But-
like a 24-year-old dude who got lucky.
it is strange. He was on the
You know?
Pat McAfee show today.
Yeah, that's what I was
He
talking
very,
about.
very strange.
I was like, wow, this guy's stoned or what, dude?
What do you guys? What's the thought on Amari Cooper? Anybody?
I just saw on break.
I'll
Go
take
ahead. Sorry.
I
20
wanna-
million?
Dude.
He's due.
Not anymore if he gets cut.
He gets cut. Okay.
Now they're saying that the Browns are eyeing Amari Cooper. So is that
okay.
Jarvis Landry?
That'd be
Out the
Jarvis
door?
Landry's replacement.
Obviously, right?
But again,
That's pretty interesting.
Amari Cooper's gonna have to want to go there. And why
Please,
would
Jarvis
anybody
Landry.
want to go there?
Right. That's true.
Why
Yeah,
does
come to
anybody
Buffalo,
want to
but-
go to the Cleveland Browns when they already said they're going to keep Baker Mayfield?
That's a good question.
Good question.
That's the first selling point you got to do when you try to get a free agent.
question.
Hey, do you want to catch passes from this guy that couldn't hit Odell Beckham wide open?
Yeah, but if the Browns are eyeing him, are they eyeing him to? Are they going to wait till he gets cut?
Well,
or are they looking to trade for him?
They would have to trade for him and then take on that $20 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Well, as long as he's going to, yeah. But if you're going to get him at this point,
Right.
odds are you're going to sign him to an extension anyway. So
Right.
that contract's meaningless, really.
Yeah. But
They're gonna spread that money out.
then he's got to get there and want to sign that contract.
Who would you say?
I mean, I could see people still having belief in Baker Mayfield. I don't, but I could see
Right.
where some
That's
still
the
would. I
problem.
mean,
The
because
Browns
listen, man, there's a hell of a lot of teams with a worse quarterback than Baker
Right.
Mayfield.
But that's okay to have the worst quarterback.
But he
then,
was hurt all year.
Don't play hurt.
Seriously
That's my
hurt.
biggest pet peeve in the NFL.
And that's
Do not
I
play.
think he
He
wanted
hurt
to be
the
a
team.
warrior.
He hurt the
Right.
team.
He wanted to be a warrior for him,
Which is fine,
especially
Go
after the
ahead and
whole
say
OBJ thing. Because at that point, what does he do, man? I mean, really, he's getting called out by the dude's dad.
Correct.
I mean, if you go and if you tell everybody you're hurt at that point, he couldn't. He was too far gone at that point. He had to
Right.
finish it out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So then, if you're hurt, here's what you need to do. Everybody in the NFL, if you're hurt, say you're hurt and you're playing through injuries before you suck. Stop doing that after you suck.
Yeah, because it looks like an excuse.
Because now it's an excuse.
Sure. Yeah.
And the problem is, I understand there's worse quarterbacks than Baker Mayfield, but there's not a team more willing to stick with a below average quarterback like Baker Mayfield. Other people will just be like, hey, let's go get a new guy.
Wow, what if they traded him?
Well,
Would
who's
that
going
be
to take
nuts
him, though?
before
That's the
the
thing.
man, there's somebody out there that still loves the heck.
Right,
I mean,
there's
come
gonna
on,
be.
man. You know,
Right.
he was the number 1 QB. So I mean, somebody
look
thinks
good
they
in
can
Houston.
fix him. They can fix him.
He'd look
Who
really
knows,
good.
But then why would Houston take him so early on in their rebuild?
No, I know. I don't know.
That's the problem.
No,
They
they're-
would. He would.
They're
That draft
ridiculous.
made no sense on why he was number 1. I mean,
Right.
everybody knew that year Lamar Jackson was
I
the
am
best
so
quarterback
glad that he
for me.
was.
Well, the best quarterback that year was Josh Rosen.
Yeah, I remember everybody
allegedly,
talking.
yeah.
Because I didn't know anything
Coming
about
out,
Josh
yes,
Allen. When we
allegedly.
picked Josh Allen, I was like, oh my God, dude, why didn't they
We're
take Josh
talking about
Rosen?
it, and you know that's what pisses me off about that draft year, because we're talking about a quarterback who wasn't even considered like that first pick. We're talking about Lamar Jackson. The dude won 2 Heismans.
You know
It
what
went
people are,
in the
yeah, but
26th
do
pick.
you understand why?
Yeah, yeah.
It's because of how Lamar Jackson plays the game. Those guys
Why wouldn't
typically,
he be-
but because those guys typically don't ever last. And look at what's happening to Lamar Jackson. He's hurt all the time. He's Michael Vick, hurt all the time. All those guys were always
They
hurt
always- yeah.
all the time.
And that's why
teams don't want to take him with their first pick, because this is exactly what
I think-
happens. You get a good year.
I think
hopes
what
up, and then he gets hurt.
tarnishes him the most is the playoff performances. They really look horrible. When he gets in the playoffs, it's so bad
Right.
that that's tough.
Yeah,
That's what hurt him more
because
than
he
anything
can't
else.
will his.
But I don't
He
know
doesn't
why.
seem to be able to will his team like other quarterbacks can
Yeah, I don't know.
to
Yeah,
win. Do you know what? Do you understand?
Yeah, that's gonna be
guess,
what's
am I
said
saying
in
it
the
right?
playoffs.
Do
I
you
mean,
understand what I mean? When
he's-
I'm saying when you lose when a player gets injured on one of your guys.
Yeah.
Because he lost Marquise that year, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Well,
So did he-
lost D.A.
I mean-
Dobbins.
That was last
Right.
year. Yeah,
Right. So I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I would never have taken a guy like that with a number 1 pick. No way. I mean, just because
They
they're
did the
so
following year,
most
So
likely to get
if
hurt.
it was out of the 2, you would have took Baker Mayfield. Over
Probably,
Lamar Jackson.
if he's more of a pocket
I
passer,
would
sure.
coming out. I would have took Baker over Lamar.
Craziness.
I only say that because you're investing everything in that guy, and look what's happening to Lamar Jackson now. He's in a position where he's going. He wants a contract extension, but I guess he said he's not looking for one.
Yeah, he should.
He said he's not because you know what he's going to do. He's going to play.
He's gotta play.
and then they're going to shit themselves at the end of the year, and he's going to be like, "No, we'll talk at the end of the season,"
Right.
and then everybody's going to throw money at that dude.
Yeah.
He's going to be
Well,
the
'cause
king.
now you know what
so
he
it's
is,
really
yeah.
actually that's a really smart move that he does that.
Oh, it's
Good
a
on
yes,
him for
yeah.
doing that, man.
Right.
He's
Michael
going to
Vick
get
had
paid.
some great years, man. Michael Vick had some.
He-
great
I
years,
know he
and
did.
Jackson's better.
But they're
than
just-
him.
But how many times did he go into the playoffs or make it to the championship game? And how many times did he get hurt and miss like 4 or 5 games and it cost them not going to the playoffs? Do you understand? You know what I mean? That's just the way I envision a team that I would like. I get nervous as hell when Josh Allen takes off on those designed runs. I'm like, this dude's going to die.
No, yeah, he's gonna.
He's going to blow
if
out
it
his knee
continues,
because
he will
somebody's going to
suffer the
target him
same
at some
fate.
point. I guarantee you someone.
He'll suffer the same fate. if he
Because
keeps
I'll tell
running.
you what, if it was the
He will.
80s, he'd have had a broken leg already. Somebody would have tried to hurt him already or something. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying he will.
Because those guys, I mean, when you're up and
Yeah, if he keeps running, he will.
they're,
He
they're
will
going to
be
hurt
Lamar
him.
Jackson.
Somebody's
He
going to
will.
take a lick on him at the right.
And
He's
if-
not going to put his head down at the right time or something like
And
that.
if they break his hip, they break his leg.
all
it
quarterbacks,
changes,
they do that
you
to
know?
all them running quarterbacks.
So
They try to kill him.
yeah, it's. I gotta
Josh
ask.
Allen's a running quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. I get nervous whenever they call a design run
Yeah,
for the
that's
guy.
what I'm saying. He's gonna be. He
'Cause
will
I'm like,
suffer
he's
the
gonna
same
get
fate.
hurt.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
more apt to happen the more runs they call for him.
Right now, I know you know all this. Free agent right now. Who do you think is the best? What would
The
you?
best free
yeah,
agent?
best free agent
That's
right
Devontae Adams.
now. Devontae Adams.
He's arguably a top 2 receiver.
After him, if you could say
Me personally,
Yeah.
is Armstead of New Orleans, or J.C. Jackson.
What do you think?
J.C.
Obviously,
Jackson has to
Adams.
be up there.
I don't want. Well, but he's not really going to be free agent. Like, do you? I mean, I want to go for a realistic
Sign and trade,
free
I
agent.
guess.
Who?
Is what's going to probably
I
happen.
mean,
on
you
the-
really
on-
think he's going to go though? I don't
Who?
think he's going anywhere.
sign and trade probably for
Paid
Adams?
attention to
Adams
Mike
is-
Williams on the free agent.
Mike
is
Williams
there.
is.
He is there.
Devontae Adams is a free agent.
God, he hasn't heard. I haven't heard a single word.
talking
No
sign
one's
and
said a
trade,
word about
right?
Mike Williams. at
Right,
all.
but it's technically
Nothing.
still a free agent.
I guess if they would,
Because you're still doing the
Nobody said a word
negotiations.
about it.
franchise him. Yeah. That was interesting thought though. The
So current
franchising
free
and
agents
trade.
are the most likely ones, like Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper,
he's still on the
he
team
can't
right now,
count.
but you know he's getting cut. I mean, they pretty much
Right.
came out and said it. So I would say he's probably
Take-
because that guy. Look what he did for Dallas.
Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, before they had anybody else, he
Right.
was lighting it up, man. He
Big-
lit it up.
I'm a big fan of that.
He can be a make. He can make a team. He can put a team into the Super Bowl if he goes to the right team.
I like Chandler
Amari
Jones.
Cooper.
I do
Chandler
like-
Jones is
I
huge,
like
but
that
God,
team.
the only
I
worry
like
about
him.
him is his age.
Yeah.
That's
I like,
the only thing where he's. But I'd love.
I do like the guy you said, that Armstead.
Yeah,
I mean,
he-
that seems to be. If I
Armstead,
had, if the
definitely-
Bears were to
definitely
do
Armstead.
anything,
He's up there too, man.
Right, because that's
I'd
where
love
you're
to
supposed
see
to build
that.
your team. So all these teams that are building up a team needs to get their offensive line.
I hate it when guys like Amari or Chandler Jones, one of those guys that are so good, and they just end up taking the big payday, man, and going to a shit club.
Right.
And waste away the rest of the.
That's where all these offensive linemen
I
are
hate
gonna
it.
go.
I hate it when guys do that. We'll see who does it out of this round of free agents. There's going to be some people.
J.C. Jackson's testing though. They said that they're not going to keep him in New England.
What do you think about that Andy Isabella requesting a trade out of Arizona?
He should have requested it 2 years ago. He doesn't even
Why
play.
Why did they even draft him if they weren't going to?
They also did not know Hopkins was coming for a second round pick.
Why wouldn't they just get rid of him then?
Yeah,
That's a good
I don't
question,
know.
yeah.
He's not.
I mean,
any
he's
good,
a pretty
though.
talented guy from what I hear. He's pretty fast, right?
Right,
I mean-
but I mean, every team should have that fast guy, like we were talking about before.
real quick before we have to go. I'm gonna name some guys.
Oh,
Tell
gosh,
me what
we
you
already
think.
almost Sorry.
Does Carson Wentz come back? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Any thoughts? I mean, it's just a pure
gosh.
guess.
He could be a backup in Miami for 2.
He's going to get traded somewhere.
Yeah, he goes somewhere. All right. I don't know where.
You sprain both your ankles on one play, dude. Who's going to take
Well,
you?
they also give up a first round pick
Who's
for
gonna
a
take
1 year.
it?
He's got to be a backup somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think, yeah.
I don't think he's getting a start role anywhere.
The only chance he has to start is if he goes.
You had the best
to
running back
the
in football,
Steelers.
man. Arguably the best running back. And you
Garoppolo,
lose-
after
can't
surgery,
lose
he'll
the
be
playoffs.
ready and he'll be fine. Where do we think he? Anything? Any?
I think
thoughts?
I think
If you had a guess,
Tampa Bay.
How about you?
Tampa Bay's a good one.
I think he goes to Tampa.
Tampa Bay or probably to replace Carson Wentz in Indy.
Yeah.
Kinda
That'd be nice. I don't know. I'd like to see that though. That'd be pretty interesting if you went to Indianapolis.
kind
I'd
of
like
thinking
that.
Pittsburgh for me for Garoppolo, but who
That's a
knows?
possibility too.
This one here is if I'm a Bills fan, I would be running so far the other way. Gronkowski,
See, I'm on the fence.
1 year, 7 or 8 million.
I don't know,
a year.
man. To have a dual threat, he
I
just
would
put
run
up
him.
career. He just put up top 5 numbers as a tight end last year.
If
He
I-
looked like a robot. I don't know what the hell.
Put up
He moved
top
like a.
5 tight end numbers.
Talk about
How
not
do you-
staying healthy.
But they don't need him. They don't need him that many down. They don't need to.
So-
put him
So
out
everything that he's
field
about
every
to
play.
say right now for Gronkowski
Is the same for Barkley.
is the exact same thing I'm saying for Saquon Barkley.
I know it is. It's both. It is. Because I'm about to say to you the same thing I said to you.
But
There's
wait
no
a second.
chance
But
I want
is
him.
he signing a low number contract filled with incentives?
He
What's
wants
gonna-
he wants a
what's
$7 to $8 million contract, just like.
Saquon.
What was
Saquon
his
Barkley.
contract in Tampa Bay?
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, I have no idea. That was to play with Brady though, so
Then
I
I
don't
need
even
to
know
know
if
what
that's
he
accurate.
wants. It all come for me.
But
Barkley,
I
everything.
think
It comes down to what do
1
they
year
want.
deals, I think, is what we're talking about.
Are you going to hurt me spending all over the place?
No, you're
Are you
gonna-
going to kill me like that? I
Sa-
don't want you.
Saquon Barkley's gonna only thing he's gonna hurt on the Buffalo Bills is the stock of Singletary, and the only thing Gronk's gonna do is hurt the stock of their rising tight end star.
I think
Dawson
he'd help
Knox.
him immensely.
I think Gronk is a mess. I would be so concerned to have
I'm not
that
against signing him.
get injected into that team. I think he brings a circus.
How many games did he miss last season?
I think maybe 3 or 4, maybe. I think. I'm guessing off the top of my head. I'm trying to think.
I need to know the injury.
Let's
Was
see.
it his back?
Oh, I don't know what it was. We know
That's
his
what
back
that's
is
what I'm
bad.
basing. My
his-
decision is going to be based on all
But
those
you know
things.
it's bad, and you know the arm's bad. We
Barkley,
know
my
that.
worry was with him is he's going to want too much money. That's all.
But are
That's-
these guys?
That's all it
Let
is.
me ask this: Are these guys coming for 1 year? Are they coming for 7? I
Well,
mean,
Depends
we
on
talked
who it
about
is.
this last week, or me and John may have talked about
Yeah.
it weeks ago. But signing somebody to a 1 year contract is probably the worst possible, the dumbest
Buffalo ain't
idea,
gonna sign nobody
pointless.
to
It makes no sense to sign for a 1 year deal. If he ends up doing well, you still got to replace him next season because he's going to sign somewhere else for more money.
Yeah.
But if
Big
you think
name
you're-
guys.
But if you think you're going to win a Super Bowl and Gronk is the one
There's-
thing you need,
Saquon Barkley is the one thing they need.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
I think they both suck. I
If you're
wouldn't sign either.
if you're that close, no.
No,
I'm
you
saying
don't think, you don't think
no.
Saquon
I'm
Barkley
not
sucks.
signing
You just
Barkley.
think he gets hurt too much.
Yeah, right.
'Cause he
I'm
does
not
suck.
guys that get hurt too much. I wouldn't take that. But would I pay a guy like Gronk?
I have no respect for running
I don't
backs.
know.
That's
I don't
my
know,
problem.
man. It's hard.
Running-
How much does he want? I mean, I need to know dollars. I
Right,
need to
that's
know
all
what
that
he
really
wants.
matters when it comes out of free
If,
agents.
if I
is
heard
dollars.
hypotheticals out there, like, oh, he
Said
might
$7,
want this,
$8
he might
million
want this.
a year.
You want to hear a
I don't need
hypothetical?
him.
number.
I
What
don't
if
want him. I don't need
He
him.
wants 8.
I don't need
So
him.
I'm
I'm
right.
good. I got Dawson.
What if the
Knox. I think
Bills
he's
traded
fine.
a first round pick for DK Metcalf?
That's
There's a hypothetical.
Oh, gosh.
Why wouldn't you?
But then
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
If you-
God,
it'd be
is
better
DK
than-
Metcalf really worth a first rounder?
yes,
I don't know.
Yeah,
DK
I
Metcalf.
don't know,
In
man.
my
Metcalf
mind,
is-
he would be, and it would be something to have him with the Diggs.
It'd be amazing, but,
Because I
why?
think-
But why do I? He's a number one wide receiver. Why do I need to bring another one?
Well,
wide
Diggs,
receiver?
I don't think
Who's
is.
the one-
I think
Diggs,
Metcalf.
Stephon
DK Metcalf?
I think Metcalf
DK
would be
Metcalf's
the one
a one
to
receiver.
his
You're
two.
telling me Stephon Diggs not one receiver?
No.
No,
You're out
I-
of your mind.
I'm not.
No.
I'm saying he's not
You're
either.
crazy.
No
Why
chance.
would you say that?
The only reason why he's there,
You're right.
if
And,
you're a number one, you're not showing
and
up for 7
Minnesota.
yards and 3 catches.
I mean, in Minnesota, it was.
He was never the number one there either.
No.
Adam Thielen was
I
there.
could
Yeah.
point out
Production is
I
why
could go
he's
back
there.
and look, and I could find numerous number one wideouts that didn't show up in big games. I could do that all day long.
Right, but
We could go back and look at that for you.
But you
I'm
cannot
just saying-
show us one of them that posted a picture 365 days before, like this, waiting for this game and not showing up. That's not what a number one receiver does. Odell Beckham would
Well, you
not
can only
do that.
do so much if the quarterback doesn't throw you the
My-
ball.
Then get open.
You're double teamed
You're
every
only-
single play.
He was not.
He couldn't have been.
I'm gonna
We'll go
figure
back
out.
and look.
Every single time Gabe Davis scored a touchdown, Stephon Diggs was single coverage and he
That
could
just
not
says you
get
got a
open.
great quarterback that knows who to throw the ball to, who's open at the right time. That's what that tells me. You guys are just hating.
Yeah.
He's not a
Listen,
number
man.
one. He's really not a number one.
I don't think
I'll
he
talk
was.
to both of y'all when you're making the playoffs. How about that?
Oh, I'll be there.
Wait, let's have him talk to us when he gets a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I
Future
see.
quarterbacks too. I ain't worried about you for a while.
Yours is Josh Allen, and if it was the first 2 years, you'd still want him gone.
Your head coach sounded like he was high as shit today. in that
Your head
interview.
coach went for it on fourth down.
He made a
and called for
horrible.
home field
No,
advantage.
my head coach made an
on
absolutely
that-
stupid
Oh,
call
Patriots.
to kick
Oh,
that.
Jesus Christ, there's a paper.
My head coach made the stupid call
My head
to
coach-
not pooch that
If
kickoff.
my head coach,
That's what my head coach did.
My
All
head
right? That's what he
coach-
did.
was horrible, Nagy. My head coach was terrible. They want.
He was terrible.
I'm not getting into
He
this
was
because I have to
terrible.
go. It's 7:01, and I'm not going to start
Yeah,
on
hang yourself.
Trubisky, and I'm not going to start on the nonsense.
Trubisky's going to
Why-
go somewhere
why-
and lead a
why
team to
is
the
this time
playoffs
limit
next
to
year.
1 hour?
John's going to lose his mind.
What? Is it time limit 1 hour? Do we have to shut down?
And we don't have to shut down, but
Because we're here. I got nothing to do.
well, he does. I think there'll be these guys. But here,
I
real
love
quick.
it, man. I love it.
Yeah, I can't do it about Trubisky, that piece of garbage. And the people here where I live are freaking insane. All right.
Trubisky's going to the playoffs next year.
With who?
I don't know.
I hope he
It's
goes to
gotta be with
Jacksonville.
somebody.
I hope he goes to Jacksonville. Please go to Jacksonville.
Hope he goes to Miami.
To do what?
He's going to go to
Back
Houston
up
and be the
Tua.
starter, dude. You watch.
Oh,
back
my
up.
God.
He's going to Houston.
That's it. You know what, Wade? Let's get out of here because I can't do it. You guys are out of your mind. You know what? It's goal
just
getters.
giving you
I
shit.
know. We'll be back Friday. And before that, real fast, Citizens United on Monday at 6. Tuesday, we'll do something with Gorillas Inc. Views. Check out Falls Count Anywhere tomorrow at 2 for all your wrestling stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a great show. Tomorrow, we got a great guest. Also, check out Skylar's Marvel Madness. You'll see that here and there. It's a great little show that Wade's son does. It's actually a really awesome show. We got some painting coming up, shows. We got a lot of stuff. We
great.
might even, I'm trying really hard to want to do this restaurant show. I want so bad to do this. We got to talk about it. Maybe you guys know somebody.
Okay.
Anyways, let's get out of town here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
See you.